right, welcome to it. It is a Wednesday on Barn Burner at Warner with his statues. Jack and myself in our under construction Marteloup studio. Good day.
Any headway being made down there, fellas? Lots of.
I mean, it depends what progress looks like. There's more construction workers and more road that's turned to dirt, more machines.
Sometimes you got to work backwards to move forwards.
One step back, two step forwards. Yeah, I don't know. I do want to know what they're trying to accomplish, though, because I don't really understand the end game here.
Yeah. We need a man on the street, somebody to really dig
Jack,
into.
You get a streeter?
Should I just go full reporter?
Yes.
Fake Mike.
Fake Mike.
We're journalists here anyway. I know a lot of people on Instagram have had a tough time with some of the. We're just here to report. You guys decide.
Oh well.
This program is brought to you by Bet365. Get the app, have some fun. It's never ordinary with Bet365. And if you want to join the program, jump in the comments on YouTube. We'll get you right into the show if you make a little super chat donation. All the money goes to the youth centers of Calgary. Safe place for kids after school. It's reading a book, a warm meal, hang with pals, playing sports, whatever it is. Youth centers of Calgary there, helping the youth in our city. Thank you for that. Thank you for your super chats. Lots of comments yesterday. We'll get to some today. The Dallas Stars retro, one win away. And all of a sudden, it feels like three of these series, they might not be over, but they're over.
You know what the best? Plenty of staving to be done.
Potentially. I don't know if I see one of these teams like, oh, yeah, they could win 3 in a row to win this series. But a stave is just one at a time, right?
You have to win one. That's you've staved. Yeah, you've staved. It's just an individual event. You don't have to stave the whole thing, but
one stave at a time.
I think I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Yeah.
I gotta say, is it caveat? I have a caveat.
Caveat. Okay.
If Hellebuck gets hot, which I don't see happening.
It's weird. Something about Hellebuck for me, I'm just not really buying it. Like, I've seen he's had very good regular seasons, but I just don't feel like it's when you watch Bobrovsky in the zone or Vasilevsky the years they went to the Cup final 3 times.
Have we ever seen him in the zone in the playoffs, though? Like,
no.
I agree with you. Like, during the season, he's been awesome. But have you ever felt like, oh, my God, he's elevated, he's in the zone, he's dialed in? Never once.
And I've never really felt that way about the Jets. I feel like they're a good team, but it's like President Strovey, it's like, cool, don't care. Like, I'm not picking you to win much. Like, yeah, I picked you against a wild card. That took you 7. Like, it doesn't feel like Goliath with a superstar. It feels like a very good team with a very good goaltender, but I already think the better goaltender's on the other team in this series.
Yeah. I want to argue with you, but I can't.
I know. And you know what? We'll bring in some other people to try to argue with me because Noodles will be with us in about 15 minutes. Look, the Oilers one feels over. Obviously, things aren't over till they're over. We've seen series at 3-1 turnaround and not often at 3-1. Are you like, oh, yeah, this team with one win, it's coming. Momentum is kind of more talked about than actually a real thing in a lot of these series. But like Washington and Winnipeg were the 2 best teams in the regular season. I don't know how many people had them going to the final.
Very few. No one I know.
Different.
We did the booze challenge or whatever. Everyone puts in a bottle of booze.
Which booze teams do?
The most expensive, you have to submit your receipt. So the most expensive bottle gets first pick, and then you get a team. And then
everyone gets all the booze if they're
the winner gets all the booze. So
that's good stuff. I like this.
Yeah, and I don't believe Washington or Winnipeg went very high.
Who did you get again?
I showed up with a bottle of sherry.
Okay.
And she's a smoke show.
But
the booze was good too. And I think I got last pick and I got the Devils. The Devils.
Yeah, that's tough. So you had the cheapest bottle, you cheap prick, eh?
Well, my dickhead brother decided that it had to start at 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Like,
that's early for the liquor store, isn't
it? Yeah, the night before at 11, he's like, you got to have your receipts in by 10. I'm like, well, it's not open, you idiot. Like, we can't go buy booze. I'm not getting out of bed. Anyway, so I went with cheapest because I knew I was screwed.
And the Devils were the least wanted team. It's what you were left with.
Available, right? They were still available. Yeah.
Jack, are you familiar with Sherry, the bombshell, the strawberry blonde? Right?
Smoke show. Oh,
Show Sherry.
I'm not familiar. No.
Sherry is a type of fortified wine produced from white grapes and grown in Spain. It's a drink produced in a variety of styles, made primarily from the Palomino grape. Sherry actually mixes well with coffee.
Sherry is you get a lot of bang for your buck, Jack.
Was she a gymnast in university? Remind me, Fred. We're just idiots. God, we're dumb.
Next.
Hey, you started us down the path. Now all of a sudden, doubleheader tonight. Florida, Toronto at 5. Edmonton, Vegas, 7:30. I'm very interested in this Florida, Toronto game.
Only because you think you're going to watch a train wreck.
Is that what it is? Like, I'm just curious. It's either
if they don't score first, that barn will be nuts. Well, not nuts, so because they'll be
puckered.
Yeah, like the ghosts of Christmas past will be showing up.
I think those live more in the heads of the fans than the actual players. But
I don't disagree.
At some point, they might have to face those ghosts. Like, I don't think the team was freaking out up 3-2 against Ottawa. The fan base absolutely was, which is insane. You expected a sweep of the Sens. Oh, they didn't win in 5. Like, come on, Sens are a good team. If you said Leafs in 6, you're like, yeah, that makes sense.
I agree with you, but it's how you do it. When you go up 2-0 against Florida, you're up 2-0 in game 3.
Mm-hmm.
You don't win it. Your top guys aren't showing up again. Are you telling me that Matthews and Marner shouldn't be worried about it? Because they should.
I think what you're selling, if you're Craig Berube, is like, hey, Stolar's going to come back at some point. Wool's been great for us. Home teams won every game in the series. We hold serve tonight. We got 2 swings to win.
I understand what
you're buy into that.
I understand what you're saying, but you're still going to be puckered. I can remember we beat San Jose in the semis in 2004.
Yeah.
We won both games there.
Yeah.
We're cutting a fat pig in the ass right now. Things are pretty good, eh? Like, here we go.
I've not heard that expression. Did Greg from Bonton give you that expression?
Yeah, like Greg. Yeah, he gave me permission to use it.
Oh, that's where the good bacon is. You
anyway.
Pig on the ass.
Yeah, we win both in San Jose, and we come back and piss away the next 2.
Okay,
you're puckered.
Yeah,
you're puckered.
And okay, so where does it feel like the stress ramps up? Like, is it in game 4, or is it once you have that off day and you're like, how did we squander a 2-0 lead?
When you get on the effing flight back to San Jose is when you're like, what in the are we doing? We don't have, and it's one thing to be tied. 3-1 is huge. You still feel real good about things.
Big time.
Right? Like we go down, Toronto goes down to Florida, wins 1 game, and they were up.
Yeah.
And they blew it. You feel pretty good coming home. Real good coming home.
Well, and to your point, like Toronto's the home team, the favorite, quote unquote, with the home ice. You guys were dogs, so you were going to have to win another in San Jose no matter what, even if you did,
win 1.
This Leafs team, you could have had 2 or 3 at home needing 1 win to wrap it.
Yes.
You get to game 7, but I still think, like, it wouldn't surprise me at all if the Leafs come out, it's a back and forth game, and they get a win. Like,
I think the Leafs are a good team, and they can win, but there are some top guys where you say the whole team is. There are guys that have been there long enough that have suffered through enough of these losses that there is scar tissue.
Yeah.
And they're not producing again. So a lot of it falls on the reason they didn't get through those series in the past.
Yeah.
Because they didn't produce.
Right.
The reason they're tied right now is probably because they're not producing. So
yeah, I mean, we had Rosie on yesterday, and to your point, when Matthews and Marner aren't playing well and you blow a 2-0 series lead, I get the angst. And I think if anyone's feeling it, it's those 2 guys. And we know that market's insane. It's the largest hockey market on earth. There's, 6 to 8 million people in that area for that team, maybe more if you count other parts of Ontario. But it's just, they've been gripping since they were up 3-2 against Ottawa. But look, like Austin Matthews wants to come out and score a pair tonight. He's a goddamn hero. Like, come on, fellas, this is your chance. But you're right. They have failed to do that in the past.
Yes, they've failed too many times in the past. And until they do, and I think they're more than capable. 70 goals in a season, 100 points in a you're good enough to make a difference. We can see the skill set. Go do it. And if they do, all's forgotten. All it takes is one.
Totally.
Ovechkin can never win.
I was just going to say, it's the Washington Capitals. These guys will never win. Sure, you score 65 goals, whatever. Oh, look at all the points for Carlson on the blue line. Oh, Nick Backstrom, 70 assists. They'll never win when they would just want to when it matters.
And I'm not even against the Leafs winning right now. I'm just saying that there has to be some change and some guys stepping up to do that because the other guys have done their piece. Wall did his piece last game. Stolarz has been good. I said it wrong. The secondary scoring, real good. They're playing hard. The defense is playing awesome.
Apparently that Mitch Marner thing we did with Rose Hill, people on the internet reacted to that. Weird.
Yes, lots of reaction.
Tell us about it, Jack. What was the gist of it?
A lot of people agree with Rose Hill.
Like Marner,
see ya.
I don't disagree. And I mean, you have to look down the roster too and go, okay, what do we have and what do we need? Right?
Here's my sort of math for them, because I know that every team's got holes every year, a couple spots they got to fill, this or that. The real big pieces are nice, offer sheet eligible. You've got Tavares, who was your captain, 6 of the last 7 years, needs a deal, and you've got Marner. I think you have to pick 2 of the 3. Or maybe even to simplify it even more, it's Marner or those 2 guys, because they probably will net out to about the same amount of money.
It was an interesting point by Rosie yesterday when he said there's the tax man might play into Tavares playing for cheap. I'd never considered that, and it's none of my business, and it's his personal life, and I don't want to. But if that is part of the situation, and you're looking at it, if you're John Tavares, you're like, no, I can't give up however millions.
I got a great idea for John. If he doesn't like paying tax, play for League Min, less tax. That's my pitch.
But if you have to pay that, it's not about that. It's about back taxes. It's not about the taxes moving forward.
No, he's got a pretty high profile case with the CRA, and I know that's not major mainstream hockey stuff, but the way he structured his contract has been debated heavily with lawyers. And I don't even know if there's a firm resolution or not yet, but
I don't either. I just thought it was interesting because I'm with you. I think I'd go Nyes and Tavares over Marner and maybe save a few bucks even. But everyone's expecting Tavares to play for cheap to stay in Toronto.
Might not
be able to.
Yeah, and look,
I actually don't care if Tavares and Marner leave. It just opens up cap space for your team. You can use that space. The Leafs are a desirable spot to go play for some players, I guess.
If you're from Ontario, that's the holy grail. Unless you're from the Ottawa area, to go back and play for the Leafs.
Just think of it. If you let Tavares and Marner walk and you sign Nyes and Bennett, what?
Yeah.
Are you worse off? Better off? I think you're better off. Maybe not.
I think you're worse in the regular season. You're better in the playoffs. And that was kind of the conversation we had yesterday. There's no question Mitch Marner gets you more standings points in the regular season. He just does. He's a better player in the regular, but there's no question Sam Bennett has more influence in a best of 7.
Yeah, and for how long?
Fascinating case study of win games here or playoff series here. Well, we need this guy to get in, but once we get there, this guy's going to help us win. I mean, we saw a lot of teams in Calgary like that. You rode a lot of players that were really good in the regular season to some really good years here. They won the division in 2022. They won the West in 2019. Those guys that carried the mail in the regular season were not good playoff players in the postseasons that followed. It's interesting. You need 2 teams. One to get you in, one to win the series.
Soft. Talking about stupid Leafs. What are we doing?
Well, yeah, I wish we were talking about Dustin Wolf shutout last night.
Sherry.
The bombshell or the grape drink?
Yeah, well,
Jack, you know any sherries? No. Spanish? Noodle's going to join us in about 3 minutes' time. Should tell you, do you have a bit of a snoring issue? Because, it wouldn't be the only Barney to fess up that, sometimes maybe I'm lying on my back retro, or maybe had a couple beers, or maybe just a little. Here's the thing. Our pal Dr. J at Outdoor Dental can help. He's got a solution for your problem. The Soleil laser, this is an exceptional piece of machinery they've got, does all kinds of magic stuff in dentistry. People who've experienced dental phobia, you can use it. No needles, no drills, no stress. But it also can be used for snoring treatment. We're talking 2 15-minute treatments to increase tension in the soft palate. That'll reduce your snoring, non-surgical, pain-free. Literally, caveman me there, just lying back, watching the TV on the roof, right? 15 minutes, zip, come back in a month, 15 minutes, zip, done. I sleep better. Lady next to me, what? She's sleeping better. Everyone's happier.
My boy Shicky, Sunday night, he's said that he got in trouble the night before, had a few too many.
Sawn logs. Dr. J can help. Come on now.
Bring him up here. He's from the Hat. They probably don't have that down there. Get him up
here.
Come on, Shicky. Let's go.
Also, if you've got those extended health benefits, a lot of this procedure covered. For some people, just totally covered. So that's great news. Outdoor.dental is the website. Dr. J, also they do dental implants, cutting edge technology, ensuring you're happy, healthy, feel confident in your results. Check them out for all your dental needs. Outdoor.dental down in your neck of the woods by the old South Health campus there.
Yeah, stop by for some sherry after.
Not following up. Not clarifying. Not following up. Do we have a link for our boy, Jackie? I feel like he's going to be roaring in any moment.
Yeah, he's got a link.
Okay, good. Yeah, I just saw a couple texts I missed. It's way harder to do the show 2 people, not 3, because if there's 3, you can always screw off and get a little.
I know. You can get distracted, search for ranches in Wyoming.
Mm-hmm. You did that a lot on the old show. Have you figured out your ranch situation yet?
You guys we're so boring. No, I don't have any.
You don't have land? You don't have a ranch?
I need all the help I can get on my ranch situation.
Need some ranch hands?
DM me.
Need a lot of sherry and a lot of ranch hands.
Yes.
It's okay.
Some cow pokes.
That's right. Jack was Long Live Cowgirls. That's who you were singing this morning?
Yep. Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen. Very good.
George Strait.
The Medicine Hat Tigers won again last night.
I watched that.
Nothing. We're going to get to it in the Pinder Report after our guest, but Andrew Basha, if he is not on your radar, Flames fans,
should be.
Get him on your radar. He's eligible for the American League next year, having an incredible return after missing most of the season. With ankle surgery, something like that? Yikes. Let's get to our guest. We do it for Crystal Waters. It is air conditioning season, friends. About to get hot. Don't wait till it's 30 and you can't sleep. Get ahead of this thing. What does that mean? Well, it means give them a call right now. 10% off a new air conditioner, 1 year free preventative maintenance. Crystal Waters is your crystal clear choice for all your plumbing, heating, cooling services. We're talking 23 plus years experience, over 30,000 projects completed. Hey, safety, comfort, quality equipment and services, product-led longevity. Wow, this is tough. Longevity. Thanks, Jack. Here's what you need to know. Phone number 403-219-4100 or crystalclearcalgary.com. Noodles on the guest hotline. Well, how are you, sir?
Not too bad. Can you guys hear me? You good?
You're just popping up on my screen. We can hear you. We've got the Montana hat on. Jack is contemplating Montana. It's May long weekend. Obviously, you've got the same out there. He asked me today, should I go to Montana? I cursed him and said, Jack, you're in your 20s. Don't ever ask me if you should go to Montana. Just go to Montana anytime you're thinking about it.
Go to Montana. I used to go, when I played in Lethbridge in junior, we'd go across the border to Sweetgrass and get booze and cigarettes. That's all we would do. And you know.
Hang on. When you were in junior, drinking age is 21 in the none of this checks out, Noodles.
Well, I mean,
how you playing junior at 21?
It's not 21 in Montana. It's whatever they damn well want.
Yeah, we had to, some nights we'd have to fight our way out of the bar too. I mean, locals didn't care for us sometimes. We had some older guys on our team, put it that way.
Fair. Yeah.
We had a guy named Brian Bosch who was a legend, and he was like 5'6", and we called him the bent back because he had a a weird spine. Like he was just like, I think he was shrinking, but
It's nice of you guys.
I swear he was like 21 years old when I played with a guy who lied about his age. I remember, not lied, but he didn't have papers when he came over. Milan Dragicevic.
Yeah. He coached UBC for a while. His kid actually just got drafted in the first or second round a couple of years.
He was like 40 years old in junior. I'm not lying. Like I played against him when he was 12 in Edmonton. He had a full beard and a mustache. He scared the hell out of everybody. He took a slap shot from center ice one time, and I put my glove up, and it took my glove right over the net. Like, that's how scary he was. But everyone joked that he was like in junior, he was past his prime. He peaked already because he was 40. Honestly, he wasn't like, I'm joking, but I swear he was like 25 when he said he was 18 or 19, something like that. Like
what did he come over from Croatia, if I'm correct? Or
I thought he was Czech Republic or something like that. But he what a wonderful person he was. He was such a great guy. We used to tease him, but he was such an intimidating figure. And he was a good defenseman and a gritty guy. He could fight. He could do it all. But he just was, like I say, he was a little older than us. Put it that way.
It's like that Cuban pitcher that comes in with the facial hair.
Oh, Little League World Series.
Little League, and he's 35 years old playing against 12-year-olds. He's Kramer at the dojo, dominating the dojo.
This Jorge Ramirez is 14 years old. There's children cheering him on from the stand. What the hell? Big one in Ontario tonight. Tell us about the chaos. I mean, this fan base, I think, is what's the right word? Schizophrenic, just high anxiety. I don't know if the team is, but this fan base, I think it's life or death tonight.
Well, it is, but in the end, I would say shame on them if they're getting ahead of themselves. This is the Cup champions. They know how to play.
Yeah.
So, I think the Leafs have done a great job. They played well. They're a very good team, and they could win this series, but so could the Florida Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
They've been 1-goal games here outside of last game, which was a 2-goal game, but it was to Cobb.
Yeah. 1-goal game late, to be fair.
Yeah. But in the end, these are tight games. It's a game of inches. Bobrovsky was no good game 1, and really he had a bad goal in game 2. I thought Marner's game-winning goal was a seeing eye shot. Like he didn't find it. It was a wrist shot from on the wall. But good on Marner. But I thought Bob didn't have his goods the games 1 and 2, and he's starting to have his goods. I thought he was fantastic last game. And, this team, like Florida, they know how to win. So I don't know. I mean, the Leafs are learning how to win. So I think it's been a fantastic series. And you're right. If the fan base, the highs and lows of it, but if you would have said to me, I think this is going to be a 6 or 7 gamer, I wouldn't have blinked because both teams are really good. So we're into game 5 tonight. Game 6 will be Friday. And, I think there might be a game 7, but I look at Florida. My only worry for the Leafs is that Florida has found something. They found, they got their game in order because, Chucky doesn't look like Chucky. He's even if you look at it, Pinder, the NHL bursts, his speed, he's at about 17 kilometers. His high is usually like 19 and a half, like closer to 20. So you can tell something's not right with the injury, but he's still a difference maker. It might be, but you look at that Marchand, you look at that third line. I mean, Bennett's just been an absolute killer. He put the lights out the other night on a great play. And we're not even talking about Barkov or Reinhart. Verhaeghe scored. Reinhart's got 1, but they haven't been their dominant self. So that's the one scary part for Leaf fans. But if you're Florida Panther fans and you're scared, look, Austin Matthews hasn't woken up yet offensively. And Nylander and Marner were quiet last game. So, same thing with Tavares. So there is some guys that can wake up on the Leafs and go, okay, we need to be better as well. So I think it'll be a hell of a game tonight, but we haven't seen a real lopsided win either way. There might be one here, and whether it's game 5 or game 6.
Yeah, I mean, look, to your point, they've all been hanging in the balance in the third. That's what we want tonight. I feel less inspired by the other 3 series. Anyone out there can reel off 3 in a row to come back from 3-1, or are we just waiting for the next round for the Oilers, the Stars, and the Canes?
I mean, Washington just they don't look good. And I don't know if that's just Carolina just blanketing them. and outworking them and out hustling them and out shooting them and out coursing them, doing everything. I mean, literally, they're a shot volume team.
Yeah.
But I mean, Vegas doesn't look right. I mean, it could be as good as Edmonton played last game, but I could see maybe one of them coming back. I just don't know who it would be. I mean, Vegas is a hell of a team, but Edmonton's rolling. So I don't know if that's all they need is average goaltending. If Stuart Skinner can give them a game, then I think Edmonton can get through. The Winnipeg one is interesting for me because Winnipeg, you want to talk about schizophrenia or Jekyll and Hyde. They 0-9 in their last 9 road games. It's insane. I've never heard of that. And credit to Dallas, but I think Winnipeg. I did their panel last night. They had 70 shot attempts. They created some good chances. Ottinger, if I had to break it down, Ottinger was better than Hellebuck. That's just he's a couple shots better than Hellebuck, a couple saves. But in the end, Winnipeg could force this to 6. But my comment was, what are you going to do in the 10th game in a row on the road? Are you going to lose it again? Or are you going to win one at home and then force this at 7-7? I don't think Winnipeg's done, but you have to give credit to Dallas. They look pretty damn good. And I could argue that they probably be the favorite out west. Do you sleep on the guys up north? I don't think you do, but in the end, I think Dallas is a pretty damn good team.
I thought Edmonton was awesome last game against.
They were
they snot bubbled them. They ran them, they beat them up, they physically dominated them. It didn't look like they looked intimidated.
Well, you know what it was, Red, is nobody had an answer for Kane. That he's a unique player. Yes, he's had his struggles off ice, and people would claim attitude, all of this type of stuff. The guy's showing up in Lamborghinis and Bentleys, and he loves the show, but he comes to play, and he could skate, he could shoot, he can hit, he can fight, and he's got some meanness to him. And I would go back. He's found the form and maybe in a small, compressed area of how he played against the Flames that year, where I thought he played really well against the Flames in that Battle of Alberta in the playoffs. Where the Flames didn't really have an answer for him. They were, yes, you're concerned about Draisaitl and McDavid. Everybody is, but when you start to do the matchups, you need somebody to answer. And Kane is such a unicorn. He's like Tom Wilson. They're very, very unique players. And when they start to lean on you and dial it in and score and do these other things, there's not really an answer for them.
Well, I mean, you got to. I struggle giving him credit because I take my pot shots at the Oilers, but their depth and the things that I thought in the first round looked just like stupid roster construction ideas, I think are paying dividends now. Totally. Fredericks is banging. Kane, like you said, is playing well. Kapanen was crashing into guys. Brown looks like he's skating well. Those guys are. Why are you at Arvidsson? Why are you adding all this depth up front? Why don't you go get a stud defenseman?
Yeah. Well, you know what? You just mentioned it though, Rhett. We haven't talked about Evan Bouchard and his wild swings. He's been really quiet, but quiet in a good way. Just unbelievably efficient. And the other guy who I thought he was done 2 years ago was John Klingberg. 100%. And all of a sudden, this guy it's 3-foot saucer passes through the middle of the ice. It's, controlling the play. He's not a burner, but he's really smart and he handles the puck well. So, I would say if I was scouting against the Oilers tonight on the road, make them play in their own zone, chip and chase, physicality, make that D turn back. We know that, Nurse and those guys, under pressure, they will turn the puck over or they will, they'll force the forwards to come back and have to defend. But that being said, the D have done a really good job of just making a simple play. One pass, over, out, and let these forwards get some speed through the neutral zone and go. And that's really what you were talking about is whether it's Kapanen or Connor Brown or Adam Henrique and, a lot of depth guys that are scoring or at least chipping in and looking. But McDavid and Draisaitl are going to get their looks, but I got to give a little credit to Knobloch as well. This is, it's just a little adjustment here. It's like, okay, I'm going to take Arvidsson out and I'm going to put a bigger, faster, younger body in there in Kapanen and see if he's hungry enough to try and stay in the lineup. And all he did was hit everything the other night. And you put Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Kapanen, 2 straight line, fourth line. I think Podkolzin can play higher in the lineup, but he's been great for them. He's just a big, mutant that can hit. And if he had any finish, he'd be a 25 or 30 goal scorer because he played in a top 6 role for a while. But he's a straight line, heavier player. So and then you put Stetcher in for Emberson, where Stetcher is a good skater. He's got skill. He's got jam. He's just tiny. And, I think those were little tweaks. But ultimately, we can talk all about this. If they didn't get a saves, then we're talking about them, having to fight their way to 4, the first race to 5 type of thing. Wasn't the case the other night. Skinner played well.
Adin Hill, what are you seeing? Like, everyone was like, oh, he's rattled. Look at him fighting. I'm like, well, I don't know. That's just a guy battling.
I don't mind him battling. I just think there's a line between being on tilt and being a great competitor. And I think he was treading across the line on tilt until he reeled it back in. Now, listen, the goal goes in and Kane runs him over accidentally on purpose, gets pushed in or whatever. Hyman's right there. Janmark click skates with him. Like they're purposely trying to get into his grill. But I don't mind the competitiveness. I love the battle. But it can't come at the expense of his game. And he was battling, and then all of a sudden he gets scored on. So he's got to reset. You actually see him resetting in the net and looking down and breathing. And I love his competitive nature. I just think it's a fine line because now the team is looking on the bench going, guys, we're in his kitchen. We're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, I agree with you. The other question, does it not look like Vegas is just in reaction mode? And I don't know if intimidated is the right word, but they're kind of playing like Hill is. We're like, well, we're going to stand up to you. It's like, well, yeah, you have to stand up to us because we're dictating the whole play.
Yeah, that's not the Vegas that we've seen over the last years where they've been the one that have run people out of the rink, bullied, dictated the pace, all of that. Some of their top players don't look like their top players. Like Stone, we know now is nicked up. I was surprised he was playing. Pietrangelo, like here's a prime example. Pietrangelo was just assaulting Draisaitl on the back door, on that back corner, on that one play. Mm-hmm. What does Draisaitl do? Get up and go right at him. Like it's just like that's the difference between, any market. Pick a star player. Like he's a star player that pushes back. And I think what happens is the whole team is wired that way right now. Is Edmonton's like, doesn't matter if you're Stetcher, who's small, or Arvidsson, or if you're Draisaitl or McDavid, superstars. They're in the fight. They're engaged. And Pietrangelo is a hell of a player. I love him. He's one of my favorite Ds in the league. And he looks frustrated too because they're trying to get underneath the skin. They're trying to go after these guys. And these guys are going to hell with you. I'm coming after you. You don't come after me. I'm going to get you first before you get me. So Vegas can switch that narrative tonight. On home ice, maybe Cassidy gets a different matchups that he wants to try and free up. But they need to jar something to get a little bit, sorted out there because they haven't looked like the Vegas we've seen.
It's wild to me. The greatest weaknesses of this team in the regular season have instantly become their strengths. And if you went and looked at their biggest off-season acquisitions, Jeff Skinner's played one game in the playoffs, press box. They just scratched Emberson, who they traded CC for. You literally are like demoting Vic Arvidsson to the point where you're bringing waiver guys in for him. Like, it's F's all over their offseason, and they still look like a team that they could win the cup. What if they'd even match the offer sheets? Like, it's wild to me how this is happening. Their depth was awful through 3 games against LA, and all of a sudden the switch clicks, and now even when McDavid and Draisaitl aren't scoring, they're winning. I who could have predicted this?
You're right. I think, and I kept saying down the stretch, they don't look good. They don't look in unison, but nobody had played together. And I kept saying, like, if all of it comes together, then you could see, okay, maybe you could see what they were trying to do. But I'm like, I don't know. It seems like it's too late. And especially after those first 2 games, they're like, they look slow. They're behind in the play. They don't have the jam. They don't look like they flicked. They were playing November hockey. and in the playoffs. And somewhere along the line, it's like, guys, let's get going here. We don't have to put ourselves, back up against the wall before we start to play well. And a lot of it is, I always say this, like star players are the ones who can drag you out of it. It's McDavid and Draisaitl, but it's also like Hyman, it's RNH, it's Darnell Nurse. Like it's guys like that who, they're part of that core that have to be difference makers in a positive way. Not going, geez, where was that guy? Like, I don't know how many times I would say you watch an Edmonton game, you're like, I can count them one hand, the amount of guys I thought were playing well. And that's different now. Now it's you count on one hand or less who didn't have a good game. And that's what they need to continue on to. And if they make it by Vegas, this Dallas team is another level too right now. So like I say, it's not going to be a cakewalk out west. You can make a case for all four teams, but Edmonton's certainly playing well. We'll see what they've got on the road here. That's the one thing that I hope they've learned their lesson is not to put their feet up and rest and go, hey, we're up 3-1 and we're just, Vegas is going to hand it to us. I don't think that's the case.
Rick Tockett's going to be announced as the next head coach of Philadelphia Flyers. This after the very strange and unusual tenure in Vancouver where they left Bruce Boudreau swinging in the wind and then Tocchet with an option they didn't exercise. And now he's like, yeah, I'm actually good, boys. We'll see you later. What do you make of his move to Philly? And I guess the smoking rubble in Vancouver right now.
Well, first and foremost, I said this before, when a coach turns you down, that's a red flag. Like for me, especially if they want him, like this isn't a guy that's coming from the outside. This is a guy who's been in the fight the last couple of years and goes, check, please. Like they want him and he goes, no, I'm good. Thank you. That's certainly concerning. Philadelphia. Now keep in mind, I don't know the term of that deal, but if I'm talk, I would say I need 5 years. I need
5. Why not?
I need whatever 5 times 5, but the term would be important to me because if you look at just remove what I just said, at least in Vancouver, you have the semblance of, a pretty good spine of a team. If Demko's healthy, Hughes, Pettersson, if he can get his act together, you've got some players there that are pretty darn good. And then it's what you do around them. In Philadelphia, who's stopping pucks for you? Urson. Yeah. That a big mutant Fedotov or whatever, 6'7". Like, they're listen, they had the Carter Hart, obviously that was their guy, but he's not going to be their guy. So they're going to have to deal with their goaltending. I like a few of their D players. I like a few of their D men, but is Konechny, like who are you building around? The Russian, I guess. They like that Jet Luchenko they just drafted in the first round. They got another high pick this year. But you're right. I guess my point is talk goes, don't judge me for the next 2 years because we've got to get our act together. We've got to start building this team up. So that's the only difference I would say from we'll call it a legacy standpoint for Talk.
Yep.
Is he's going to a worse situation, which is saying a lot from coming from Vancouver, where it's been, again, from the surface, dysfunctional. And
younger than the Sharks, only Montreal younger than them. So I agree with you. Like, don't judge me on year one. We're going to build something over the next half decade.
And you know what? Like, regardless, people didn't love John Tortorella or his tactics or whatever, but he knew what he was in for. And Tort said, I'm going to try and drag these guys. And those guys would be in a playoff conversation halfway through the year. And you're going, how's he doing it? Like, Torts is pulling out every stop and trying to get these kids to get to the next level. Like, they do have some nice players. And you're right, they're young. But Talk, for me, who's a really good coach and a really, great person, I just think he's got to go, I'll take the term and give me a few years to get this, ship headed in the right direction. And obviously Briere and Keith Jones probably are saying the same thing. Like, let's all do this together. You're our guy to do it. So, good on him. I hope they gave him a boatload of money, which I would imagine they would.
Yep.
But it's more concerning now. Like, I can't remember. Is it the college coach Carl that said no to Chicago?
Yeah.
This guy doesn't want an NHL job in Chicago, an original 6 team with a golden goose there. He goes, no, I'm good. Like
He said no to a lot of teams. Like
Right,
that, he's been the top guy outside the league for a while. He's been real choosy here. David
well,
Carl.
he wants the right situation. I get it. I hope he's a damn good coach. I mean, you hear, these
What's he
guys,
making in college though? He's 42 frickin' games, and you got cushy schedule. Maybe life's all right.
and he's
Probably making $750,000
up at the bars like Urban Meyer.
Yeah,
He's doing the oil check at the bar. Yes.
Or maybe he's got a 24-year-old girlfriend like the guy
Belichick.
from New England, Belichick.
College life, boys.
My
Gosh.
God, like that. It actually hurts my heart to see what Belichick is doing right now. It's actually insane.
That's a legacy that's.
I mean, this guy, Bill Belichick, would kick Bill Belichick off the team.
Yeah, he would. It's true. It's a really good point.
Like, that's the crazy part. So
they met on a plane.
We've
Apparently.
all been there. We've all Sherry.
Young love.
yeah, young love.
Big talking point in Calgary is what the Flames are going to do. They ended up the year with like 18 plus million in cap space.
Yeah.
Didn't turn it into picks or prospects, but don't get to carry it with you. New year, new slate. They've already extended Coronado. They're going to get a deal done with Zeri and Ball and Frost. They need a backup goalie. But even after all that, probably they extend Wolf, who's got 1 year left. They're still going to have 15 to 20 million left.
Yeah.
Should the Flames be big players in free agency? Because some of the buzz is like, yeah, we might not get a guy we want, but we'll definitely kick tires and offer some money for someone like a Marner. What are your thoughts on where they're at? They're 9th in the West, 96 points, but they're also like a tweak of a Dustin Wolf hamstring away from probably being a bottom 6 team in the league.
Right. I think we've talked about this at length, though, about sticking with the plan and growing the program and not chasing it. The program has to grow together. Now, if Connie believes there's somebody's out there, mid-20s, again, I don't know. Everyone's talking, hey, there's going to be an offer sheet. Well, who knows? The offer sheet was the perfect storm last summer where Edmonton was asleep at the wheel, and I don't think they managed things well.
Yeah.
And Doug Armstrong slid in there and got his own. Remember, he had to trade for his own draft pick back to make that happen. So he was fantastic with it. But that being said, I think Connie is certainly, I'm sure Murray Edwards would have given Connie the green light to go make our team better. And if you have to spend some of that money, go ahead. But Connie is not swinging at, hey, let's bring in, here's a crazy one. Here is, okay. Wouldn't John Tavares look good there on a short-term deal?
Yep. I mean, they already have old centers, but he'd be their best.
But the point is like trying to help like young players. If you believe that Michael and Naz at some point, maybe Naz, you do something with his deal. Like I'm just saying, like I'm just throwing names out. And the reason being what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be, I don't know if there's a 25-year-old free agent that would be the perfect fit for the Calgary Flames off the top of my head. Right?
I mean, look, if you're telling me a team that's 30th or 29th or 31st in league scoring, whatever it is, wouldn't benefit from Mitch Marner, sure they would. But they've got this glaring hole at center ice. They have no one young that plays center. I mean, I don't know what Morgan Frost is. I do know he's 24, 25. He plays center, but the system's full of wingers. They don't like, and I don't even know now the more I think about it, that Tavares helps at all. You've already got a 36 and a 35.
You're right. You're right. I should probably backpedal on that and say he's not the right fit. All I'm saying is that you need to make your team, if you're going to help those kids grow, you've got to add to them. And it might be a veteran on a short-term deal, or if you can, again, Dylan Cousins would have been perfect because, there's your wheelhouse, there's the contract, all of that. Is there another Dylan Cousins deal out there to be had? Something like that. That's the challenge for the Flames.
Are McKenna and DuPont worth, you can't say the word tank, but if you look at the Flames organization,
yes,
and you look at that team and you look how well they played, are you expecting the same thing next year? And can you tweak it enough to make sure that you're in the playoffs? Because finishing where they finished sucks. Let's be honest.
Peak pain.
are you better off save the money, maximize that, actually make use of that cap space, bring in draft picks, take on a shitty contract, give yourself a chance at a McKenna or a DuPont down the road, a real difference maker. And the other thing I wanted to ask, a lot of things to discuss, the offer sheet question, or it's out there. Everyone, offer sheet. Is Dustin Wolf
He's a year away.
sheet? Huh?
He's a year away. I think
I
they'll
know,
have
but
him
if
signed.
I don't give a shit what any agent says. Oh, that's not how we are. Bull BS. If Chicago wants a goaltender, and I'm just saying Chicago, I'm not. Is Dustin Wolf not a guy? If you were going to offer sheet someone, isn't Wolf the kind of guy that you'd want to offer sheet? Now, I think the Flames match, but
no, you match, and same thing in Toronto. It's Matthew Nyes, guys like that. You know, like you're looking at guys going, their deals are coming up. I agree. I do agree. I think as much as we're looking out, you might look and go, okay, Wolf's not locked up. I do believe they'll get it sorted out. I do believe he wants to be a Flame for life, which would be amazing because they would have their cornerstone piece in net, who is a superstar. I think he's going to be a superstar. And that's, you guys see it. You see it throughout the league. If you don't have goaltending, then
lights out.
All you do is focus about it and go, geez, we need a goaltender. But if you can shore it up and he's a drafted, developed player that wants to be there and wants to be the difference, now you sign him up, you get as much term as involved with him, and now you work on the players in front of him. It's a very interesting thing, but Rhett, you brought up a great point. McKenna, DuPont, like those guys they could be difference makers. So, maybe it is a scenario where you stand pat, you move players out, and you have dignified, I would say a dignified tank, but I just don't think ownership is wired that way for the Calgary Flames either.
I don't think they are. I agree with you. I actually don't, but I actually wonder if that's not
I agree.
The problem it's a smarter move. Well, who says you're getting McKenna even if you're in the bottom 5, right? Like you still have to have some luck to make that play out. And then if Wolf's there, are you ever going to get that low? And then the circle starts running around.
He's healthy and playing 60 games. I don't think you're going to bottom out.
We got to get Noodles out of here. He's got to be moving here. We'll continue the conversation. We'll chat next week. Thanks for your time as always, buddy.
You know what I've got going is lunch with Mark Giordano.
Come on. You send him our best. Rhett's been trying to trade him for years.
Yeah, well, Rhett's been trying. He's a bad teammate. He tries to get rid of good people. He got rid of me, right?
Ran him right out of town. Drank him right out of town.
No, Gio's been doing a little media. And he lives here, and we've been talking about, so he's literally, I have an Italian place like 90 seconds from my house, so we're meeting there for lunch. So I will pass along hello to the captain or former captain of the Flames. He's the best. Gio's the best.
Thanks, Noodles. You're the best. We'll talk soon.
Chat soon, guys.
There's Jamie McLennan, the TSN insider on the Insider Hotline. For Crystal Waters Plumbing and Heating, it's air conditioning season, 10% off a new air conditioner and free preventative maintenance for a year. Love it. Head to their website, crystalclearcalgary.com. Call them 403-219-4100. Crystal Waters Plumbing and Heating is your crystal clear choice for home comfort. And comfort means air conditioning this time of year. So lots there. I like that you asked about the DuPont and McKenna question, because it's not just about tanking, Red. It's also like the Islanders are picking first. They weren't awful. No. If the Islanders had offer sheeted someone last summer, they wouldn't be picking first if it was beyond that threshold. And everyone's like, oh, offer sheets. Use them. Go get this guy. Go get that guy. Go get Nyes. Go get Rossi. Go get Maverick Bork. Go get this guy. Go get that guy. You're like, okay. But like for teams not to match, you have to make them very uncomfortable salary-wise, right? Your first rounders in the DuPont McKenna years.
If you gave that up because you went and got Maverick Bork, whatever.
Yeah.
You would, you're fired. Is what
right. And the Maverick Bork one, he's probably not getting to the threshold of a
I'm
first.
not, yeah, no, I'm just,
yeah. Like Matthew Nyes is. You're not going to get Matthew Nyes unless you're above that first rounder threshold. And you might even be in the 2 first rounder threshold, which is like $9.3 million. Leafs can just match. They got an extra $9 million. Like, you really have to pay them a lot to get them out of there. So it's something that no one's guaranteed to pick first overall and get a superstar. Even if you do bottom out in a rebuild, it's not even a guarantee there's a superstar at the top. There happens to be the next couple of years, but I don't know. Like, we're 2 years into Bedard. Looks like a good player. Does not look like a superstar yet. Already looks like Celebrini, a year younger, is quite a bit ahead of him. Like, Celebrini's going to be on that.
Yeah, I'm not ready to throw the towel in on
No,
Bedard,
but it's just don't know what you have.
Yeah, there's plenty of first overall picks that aren't. What do we think of Taylor Hall's career?
It's fine, but it's not a superstar career, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And so it is
I doubt it with the
something
other
they're
two
trying to
that we
balance there.
mentioned,
I know that. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I said I doubt it with the other two that we mentioned. I think those guys now. Hall was built up that way, so anything can happen. I'm just saying that
These
it
two are
feels like
special.
McKinnon. Yeah, that's and they're from Western Canada. And if
Yes.
you know what I mean, they're not going to be desperate to run like the fear in Toronto with Matthews and some guys. It's like, wow, even if you get them, they're going to leave. Well,
Yeah, and sometimes that fear is overblown. Like Matthew Coronado just re-upped.
99% of the time it's overblown until the one time it isn't, and Matthew Tkachuk says, "Thanks, I'm leaving."
Yeah, and again, you had a chance to lock him up to 7. You bridged him.
Yeah, but you didn't. It's yeah. Did you freak
80,
out when
you
they
avoided that? What's that?
Did you freak out when they did that?
No, they'd capped themselves into a spot where they couldn't afford to go long. But again, like they just always had the Frolik, Brouwer, Neal type money that it's like, these aren't game changers. These are like secondary parts.
That's what we're stuck with now, right? And that's part of the problem is that I think there's a lot of good players on this team. Can they compete? Did they work hard? Yep. All of that. Who's taking it? Who's the next level guy? If you're playing against the Flames, who, as a defenseman, who am I scared to play against?
Nobody. If you're in the opposing dressing room, we're talking about Dustin Wolf. How do we beat him? How do we get traffic?
Like
what do we do to take away his eyes? Like, there's one star player that's in the entire organization. And, like, Basha might be a great player. Gridden might score a bunch. You might have a really, really dynamic offensive defenseman in Zane Parekh. They still need more. Like, they're not done. They're 1 year into this thing.
Yeah.
They're not coming out of it. Like, sure, you might be able to be 9th in the West again next year, or even 8th if somebody stumbles. But, like, look at the teams that are in. Who do you think you can reel in? Because I don't think they're close to Winnipeg. I don't think they're close to Dallas, Colorado. St. Louis is, you look at the coaching change on, one of the better teams in the league. Don't think they're catching them. I certainly don't think they're catching Edmonton. LA and Vegas, I'm curious, but like they've got a better start than you. Certainly. They got Eichel, they got a Kempe, they got Doughty.
Like, too.
Like, you think you're a playoff team. Minnesota's got $15 million to spend. They're in without that money. How are you getting in? So they might spend this summer, but if it's not, don't go spend on the middle class, right? Don't go spend for that second, third line guy. If you can go get some incredibly impactful guy, great. But the real need is re-up Wolf so he isn't offer sheeted a summer from now. Get him as long as you can, and find a left shot defenseman that can play with Zane Parekh, because you don't have anyone right now. If you want to, ball's the only option you got. You can't have Zane Parekh playing with Jake Bean, right? Someone on their offside. That's my Flames rant. How am I doing?
You're really good.
That was pretty good.
You glossed over there. I thought maybe that.
No, you actually think about it and you're like, well, there's always changes. But then the other part of it is, and I don't know that Vancouver's going to bounce back, but Minnesota's going to be better. Is LA going to be as good? I think a lot of people underestimate. I thought LA was really good.
Yeah, I think they're nails. I mean,
they fell apart.
If you get a couple plays different, they might have knocked off the Oilers. I know they're getting crushed because they didn't, but they decisively looked like the better team through 8 periods against the Oilers.
Yeah, they should have been up 3-0, and that series should have been over, and they screwed it up.
Yes.
Blah, 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 and credit to the Oilers, and they look real good right now. But I don't know that LA is going to fall off. Vegas, possibly, just because they're 8. But
getting a little
why
older.
they're older? But they're going to try to be better.
They're going to go get Mitch Marner or something stupid, right?
They're going to try
do the Vegas thing.
If they don't get through Edmonton, I
Yeah.
don't think that Vegas is sitting on their hands going, oh, we've got a really good team. We'll be fine. And
No.
do guys like playing in Vegas?
Yes.
Here's so. Sure.
State
certainly.
tax in Vegas? No. Are they competitive? Yes. Are they ruthless and will send anyone to the moon for a chance to
Yes.
get better? Yes.
So, and who's behind that didn't make it?
I think you're going to see improvement from the likes of Utah, Anaheim. San Jose, to me, is fascinating because those young kids are already looking really good.
How's Dickinson playing for the London Knights?
Well, there's another guy they're going to add, and they're going to pick a 2 overall. Like, that's
not a long-term bottom of the barrel squad.
I know it hasn't been great for the last little bit, and the crowds have been ugly, but like, that's a team that's going to be a handful really quick. Like,
And so that's what gets frustrating is it's not about the first overall pick. It's about the strategy and making your picks count. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can't miss on high picks.
Yeah.
And I'm talking top 15 and top 18. If you're not compiling volume of picks, then you had better hit home runs with the ones, or at least triples with the picks you have.
Yeah.
Because if you're swinging and missing, you that's setting you years back.
It's because everyone talks about, oh, you can't, rebuild's not that simple. Like, look at Buffalo, look at Detroit. And I'm like, well, you have to be well run. That's the starting point. Like, you don't just finish at the bottom and become good unless you're the Oilers and you win 4 lotteries in 7 years, which will never happen again. They've literally written rules in that want to let you do it. Like, the only team that incompetent themselves into success was the Oilers because they
luckily,
a total fluke. They're trying to make the playoffs the year they won the McDavid draft lottery. Like, they were that dumb. They were that poorly run. And, it's year 10 with Connor. Maybe they finally get over the hump. But all these teams that have rebuilds that last forever, they're not well run.
No. Well, and you can say that you can look at Buffalo and go, oh, well, 14 years without making. They got Rasmus Dahlin and Owen Powers, who I think are good players, as their first overall picks. And then they've picked what? 8th and 9th kind of for,
10th, sure.
Right? Like in those, they've got talented players, but it's not.
And the guy that had 2, Eichel, has a cup. They got into a spat with their superstar, traded him for peanuts. Is that good management? I'm sure Jack Eichel has to wear some responsibility there, but the Buffalo Sabres could not have moved Jack Eichel at a lower value moment in his career than when they did.
I disagree with you. I think that this is all management and ownership as far as the Eichel thing is concerned.
Totally agree. Yeah. Like, I think if your job is to try to move assets when they're valuable and build them up if they're not valuable, they couldn't have done it worse with Jack Eichel, who's won a cup. So yeah, no matter where you pick, you got to hit your picks, no question. And look, I don't see. It's tough to imagine this team really bottoming out. It's also really tough to imagine them squeaking in, even a team that had 96 points.
Yeah, you can see this team anywhere from 75 points to 95 points again next year. Sure. I think.
Yeah, and 75 is pretty critical. I'd even bump that up a bit. 75 would be way down, but maybe that's a Wolf injury. I don't know. Let's get to the Pinder Report. We do have some Flames prospect news. We do that for our good friends at Village Honda. They're located in the Northwest Auto Mall, online at villagehonda.com. It's your dealership for life, and they're trying to buy your car. They want pre-owned vehicles. We're talking complimentary. They're going to look at it. They're going to poke it. They're going to look under. Get on the inside, see what's going on. It's how much is this thing worth? It's an appraisal, Rhett. Complimentary appraisal. If they like it, they offer you a number. Say, we'll give you this in cash in the next 24 hours. Yen, no pressure. You say yes or no. That's the move. No obligation. Also, for a limited time, there'll be cruise vouchers for 2. Honey, I don't need this car anymore. Let's go for a cruise. Going to Village Honda to get that all sorted. Love it. We start at FlamesNation.ca. Writers, Rhett?
Writers, right?
Sure love writing. The big topic of the last 48 hours, could the Flames be major players in NHL free agency? Pike weighs in. Your boy, A-Kiss. He's back, recapping the World Championships. Weak dog, your boy. Morgan Frost, a bit of a mystery for the Flames to solve this summer. I'd agree with that. Lots of good stuff up there. If you want one of the more interesting, I guess, queries for the offseason, Rhett, what would you offer Kevin Ball on a new deal? The big, hulking defensive defenseman on the left side needs a contract. He's an RFA.
I'm so out to lunch on what a guy like that is. It 4.5, 5?
I think under the old money, it's probably around there. So I would ask you, is he a top 4 defenseman?
I think he's a 4.
I think he's a perfect 4. You know, how did the team look when he was injured? They struggled mightily. They needed someone that could defend. So yeah, I think you get into top 4 money, and that through our old lens is probably 4.5, which means it's probably around 5 on the new deal. Well, inflation. Lock him in.
I'm okay.
Throw in on the Markstrom deal, eh?
I think you have to have some of the guys like Ball hanging around. Got to have your balls hanging around, man.
Right.
No.
Let's move away from your balls and over to Andrew Basha. Flames second rounder from last summer. Pike bomb, a goal, 4 shots, +3. Basha's Tigers win 6-0 in Spokane last night in game 3. Tonight, game 4, it's on TSN. 2-1 series lead for the Tigers. Here's Basha doing it again, right? He looks like he's too good for this league. Now, we could probably whiteboard this, but that's too easy. He's missed his didn't play since December?
Yeah, I was just going to say Andy hasn't played, so.
Third game, second goal, set up Lindstrom, on game 2. He's going to be a Wrangler next year, and boy, Andrew, don't let anyone put you in a box. If you want to dominate there, we'll see you in the big club in the spring. That'd be lovely.
Yeah, I know. You're doing both. You're building them up. Don't build them up too high either. Just go play. Be good.
I'd just say this. If he's just 5 pounds heavier and 6'1", this kid is not in the second round of last year's draft. Like, he is a special talent.
You love falling back to that. I don't think it's even a thing anymore.
Sweet Willie D said he's a top 15 pick. That's your boy, Sweet Willie D, in Medicine Hat the other day after his return to the lineup. If they could do it again, he's a top 15 guy. We'll see. Willie's not a scout. He's a coach. Likes this guy. So game 4 tonight. They'll then play Friday, game 5 in Spokane. It's a 2-3-2. So Medicine Hat, it is game 6 Sunday, game 7 Monday. Get down for those.
Jack, why don't you go to Medicine Hat for the May long weekend?
It's closer to Montana. Maybe swing by on the way back, Jack.
Which day's the game?
It's just not listening.
Go to Montana.
Go to Montana. Maybe Monday night on the way back, you catch a game 7.
Possibly, yeah.
That's not a bad idea. Next, Morgan Frost. We have Morgan Frost something. Morgan Frost. Oh, happy birthday, Morgan Frost.
Too much Morgan Frost. Everyone's talking about Morgan Frost.
Too much frosting?
Yeah.
He's 26. Not a puppy.
No, he's not a puppy. So start producing. Everyone's cheering for you. Everybody likes you. Everybody talks highly of you.
It's time.
Why did Philly let you go? Can you please produce?
Yeah. Who are you going to play with? What role are you going to have? I think we understand what Nazem Kadri does. We definitely know what Michael Backlund does. They have very clearly defined roles. What does a Morgan Frost line do? That's what we want to figure out, because I don't think we know yet.
Frost and Basha. Oh, so good.
Frost, Basha, and Zary. Let's go. Basha's probably going to play in the A first. Don't build him up too much.
Well, you built him all up. Yeah, this guy's a superstar.
I like him. He's a superstar in the dub. He's too old for he's allowed to play in the American League next year. These are good things.
They go to college too.
I think he's signed, so he can't.
Oh, yes, you're right. Sorry.
I don't know those rules. It's changing every day, Red. Who can keep track? Ask AI.
Yeah.
Let's go to the results last night. One game only. We haven't got there yet, but we're going to get close to our first day with no hockey. It's been a lot. It's been a marathon here. That was a good one. Impressed with Mikael Granlund? Yes. Good to score 3 goals when your team wins 3-1. Ottinger with some big saves, including early and late. Winnipeg wasn't bad, but Dallas just had the looks of a
How
finish.
come we don't show the highlights of the NHL game, but we did?
Well, when Jake Ottinger's a Flame, we'll show the highlights. I'll tell you that for free.
Nice.
We did have a Granlund. I think it was the other Granlund. Do you want to watch a Granlund goal?
I got all 3 goals. Rep, pick one.
Which was the second?
Second goal.
Second's good. The third, the Selly's unreal. Let's watch them all. It's fun.
You want to watch all of them?
Yeah, let's do it. Goal number 1, because this is a big one.
Crazy.
It's tense and quiet early. We talked about it already. Huge game 5 in Toronto. Clearly the winner of this game tonight's in the driver's seat. Do we finally get a monster Leafs playoff win over the Panthers, or is it the champs still the champs until they're not the champs? Both these guys have been pretty quiet.
Yeah. The rumors are that Matthews is hurt as well.
Yeah, even all year he's kind of been dealing with stuff. He's had this wrist thing for a couple of years too. I don't know. I think he's probably checked really nicely, but the goals are not there.
Kachuk looks injured.
And for sure is, yeah. Good night for either of these fellas to step up. It won't be missed. Vegas Edmonton, the later one. Does Vegas have anything left? They got bullied in game 4 in Edmonton, but a lot of these guys have won a championship. Well, they'll show us what they got for fight. They also have last change as well, which helps a bit. They
They
really
better
good in
find
game
something
3.
to hang their hats on because they were not very good.
No, and you know what? I really liked them in the game 2. They fell way behind, clawed back, and won. Should have won in overtime, didn't. That missed penalty call. They killed off a 5-minute major. Looked really good in game 3. Game 4 was just not close. All Oilers.
Too much time in Edmonton.
Yeah, that'll happen. The mall. You can only walk past so many Aldos.
It just wears you out, all the excitement.
That's right. The teenage gangs walking by, shanking you. There's your odds tonight. Panthers minus 140. Vegas minus 130. Knights favorite at home. All right. Rick Tockett's got a new home. It's not final, but it's happening. Frank Baum. It's a Frank Baum. Flyers and Tocchet, gonna happen. Other insiders have echoed the sentiment. It's not done, but they're going to get it done. Contracts, terms, things like that. And honestly, when we heard it was Seattle, Boston, Philly, this makes the most sense to me. They're young. They've got lots of picks and young players you'd like to have. And I just see a lot of mediocrity in Seattle's future and pain with Boston and some of those signings they've made.
Canucks also hired Adam Foote.
Oh, Adam Foote got hired. Thank you, Jack. That's brand new. It was apparently down to Adam Foote and Manny Malhotra, 2 former players, 2 guys coaching in the system. Malhotra's the head coach of their AHL team, which is still playing the Abbotsford Canucks. Adam Foote.
I'm a little surprised that he took the job just because he was there.
He knows.
Yeah, he's like, we got one guy that's like, I'm good. I'm getting the F out of here. You guys should leave too. But
here's the thing about your first coaching job. You can't get to your second one until your first out of the way. So Adam,
the resume.
Get that on the resume. Work on your Rolodex. Interesting. Thank you for that, Jack. Let's go to Russia. You like going to Russia?
I love Russia.
Love Russia. Big Russia guy. How do you stop a Michigan? Well, Alexander Radulov, if you remember him, that's how.
I love it.
This is what you got to teach the kids, Red. You don't want to do Michigans? No, it's a scoring play. Right. Well, here's a defensive play.
We had the game on last night. The guy's buzzing around. And
Bang.
9 times out of 10, if the dude would have just played the body, there's no opportunity.
It's a lost art, Retro.
Yeah.
Lost art.
Sit
That damn Doug in the chat had the nerve to ask if even Prime Ret could even make the Flames right now. Come on. Here's the other thing about Russia. They got these cameras that catch you speeding. Ilya Kovalchuk, apparently 115 speeding tickets.
God damn it.
In a year and a half.
You got to get one of those license plates things.
Yeah.
Giant. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. Caught speeding 115 times, driving on the shoulder or not complying with the requirements of signs and markings 46 times, illegal parking 24 times.
You know what? There's some countries that don't monitor it at all. So
I'm doing the math here. I think that's 185 infractions in a year and a half. That's like every other day he's getting.
Yeah, it's camera bullshit. I'd get a lawyer, fight it. Peter Klein.
Does Pete have his license for Russia? I don't know how that works.
Oh, he'd get it in no time.
That's a great call. Pete, I got a bit of an issue. How's your Russian? I've got 185 infractions.
Yeah, every other day.
These are like $12, and Ilya's like, I don't care. I really don't care. Like, I spend more on dinner tonight than these. I'll keep driving how I drive.
Yeah. If you're not taking my license away, I'll just pay the fine and go as fast as I want. F you.
Because in Sweden, it's the opposite. They will index your ticket relative to your earnings. So if you're like Peter Forsberg making big cake and you speed, it's like you can get $100,000 speed. They don't do it that way in Russia.
They're asses. I don't like it.
Okay. Rhett's a thrill seeker. We know that. He loves roller coasters, but I did not see this coming. So it looks like you've broken in, Rhett, to one of these amusement parks in California.
Yep.
Security's usually pretty tight, so I'm already impressed. We're starting to get way up there. This is one of those monster coasters, right? Oh, yeah, look at this. Oh, geez.
I don't like heights, Ryan.
Well, you fought through here, didn't you? You really did.
I'd be puking right now.
Oh, so now we're kind of at the top. No, we still got a ways to go. Jeez, way up here, guys.
Yeah, I'm dizzy. Why didn't you use those stairs right there?
Well, yeah, I think they lock the stairs at night. I don't know. Oh, they're onto you.
Shit.
Well, good thing you brought your parachute, Rhett.
See ya.
That is just... Again, we talk about with your kids. What was the payoff and what were the risks incurred?
Risk reward. Always, son. Yeah, Dad, it's real cool. No.
Now, you said one of your guys is big into fishing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a good time to get some tips. This is a huge catch here. Let's check in.
That's a fucking start, bro. Dude.
Sound up, listen again. There's 3 distinct groans here.
That's a fucking start, bro. Dude. He should be in the nuts.
In the nuts. Jack and his buddies been working on this trampoline launch. Have you seen these before?
Seems real cool.
Yeah, it actually does seem pretty cool. Look at this. You guys built a deck the other day. You've been smoking meat. Now you got the trampoline launch.
Imagine if you put your time and energy into something that mattered.
Yeah. Or if you could like turn this into a business and charge people for it.
Are you saying this doesn't matter, Rat?
No.
No. Are you saying that he should stop doing this and go get married and settle down and have a family, Red? Is that what you're saying?
Buy some sherry and quit wasting your time.
I love soccer. Here's some footy highlights from.
The nice part about that is that if that's in Canada and he gets hurt, he's taking up the hospital time.
Right. Yeah. Let's go to some women's soccer. Look at that. Listen to the sound here.
What aim?
Oof. 2 for the price of 1. Well done.
Oh.
Everyone knows that one guy in their golf group that anytime it's near the water, they're like shoes off, socks off. We're doing this. It's really It's like hero syndrome. Yeah, I used to be that guy, and then I got hosed once, and no, this is dumb. I'm just not gonna do that ever again. This guy hasn't had that lesson yet. Almost knee high in the water on 16. Wife is laughing.
Wow. Go in! Oh my
Yes.
God!
Very good. Well done, Rhett.
AI.
Doesn't believe it. Jack and I have found the worst street fight in history. Let's go to it.
All right.
Yeah. It's like booze was a factor here. We got some mild chirping. You got sloth-like movement here. Slow hands.
Oh, shit.
Coordination is not. Yes. A lot of self-inflicted wounds there.
Please show that again.
How many actual moves landed here? This is incredible. One guy filming might have caught that one. Missed there, run into the tree, missed the kick. Boom, dust yourself. Swing over the top and miss. You fall down. Great stuff.
Violence. Always fun.
People keep sending in their arborist videos for us, which we love. Thanks for that. Continue to use ladders and chainsaws, people. This is a pole saw. That's familiar. I wonder what's going to happen. Right? He burns the tree. Oh, jeez. I don't know why that.
Now this, you know what this is? This is AI learning for everyone. It's not AI, but this is a learning when you get your pole saw out and your ladder.
Jeez.
Just set it up right.
And finally, you misled us, right? You've been telling us about flying cars for years. You never told us about this air bike, this flying bike.
Oh, the Ewok bike.
Way cooler than your stupid flying car. Yes, the Ewok one. Let's have a look.
It's insane. If you haven't seen it yet, this is the Volanaut air bike. It's a personal hover bike that looks like something straight out of Star Wars. And believe me, the company clearly knows this. Its inventor is the same guy who was behind the Jetson 1. But unlike the Jetson 1, the Volanaut is taking a much different approach. According to the company's website, this super bike for the skies is powered by jet propulsion and is designed to carry one person with speeds of up to 124 miles per hour.
Whoa!
It has a proprietary stabilization system, which is enhanced by an onboard flight computer that provides automatic hover and easy controls for its rider. It's 7 times lighter than a typical motorcycle thanks to its use of carbon fiber, 3D printing, and a minimalist design approach. The write-up from DuPont Registry says that you simply grip the handlebars like a motorcycle, lean forward, and launch into the air. And the controls are managed through a telemetry-equipped helmet. I'll be honest, my brain is struggling a little bit to believe that this thing is real, but considering who its inventor is, I'm sure it is. I'm also sure that it won't be cheap, but let me know what you guys think.
You in, Red, or what?
Oh, I'm in for sure. Can you imagine me and Jack cruising down to Montana?
Yeah, you
just Harley bike.
The border's coming up. Let's just go up a couple hundred meters. Yep. See you, boys.
Yeah.
No parking in Marta Loop issues. No traffic. Fly right over the construction sites.
How long away are we from actually being able to just do this stuff?
Well, you can do it again.
No, I know,
now,
but like
but
2 years.
Really, 2 years?
I just think this is all going to be regulated and governments are going to get involved and it's going to take forever to figure out what the hell we're doing. Because you can't just fly around. There's airspace and all that. You're going to get all these, rules. We need more rules, right? Barf.
Well, I don't want to get into it.
Right? You got to buy some land and we'll come ride the Volanauts on your land, okay? You own that land. We'll rip around on them. We'll do stormtroopers against the Jedi.
You got to wait till you can afford them. Like that guy said, I'll bet you that thing ain't cheap.
Over under $1 million.
Under.
Over under $500,000.
Under.
$250,000.
Close. Yeah.
All right. Jack, get us a price on the Volanaut when you get a chance, would you? That's your Pinder Report on a Wednesday. We do it for Village Honda.
I'll do it right now, Jack.
Honda Ridgeline, the convenience of an all-wheel drive pickup with the comfort and smooth ride of a sedan. Car and Driver magazine ranked the interior of the Ridgeline tops in its class for practicality, comfort, and right now, the 2025 Ridgeline Black Edition. Look at that. You can get $2,000 Honda bonus. Qualified Honda owners get an additional $2,000 in loyalty bonus. Woo! Love that Ridgeline. Village Honda, Huge selection of used vehicles, and of course, the new in-stock inventory. Worth the trip, located in the Northwest Auto Mall. Jack Volonaut, what do we got?
The Volonaut Air Bike is projected to retail in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I'd say it's between 250 and 500 Canadian. That's my guess. I liked your over-under game. I thought you nailed that. That flying jalopy you had months ago, that thing's toasted. No way is picking that up.
What's out now for sure.
Yeah.
Huh.
He was saying the Jetson thing, the guy that designed it. Is that the flying spaceship or the air ship to ship that the U.S. military is using?
Might be. I don't think it is even. I think it's just the handles that they fly with. Jack, I'm telling you, and all the listeners, people, 6 months, everything's going to change. AI's changed. Then another 6 months, it's going to change again. And then another 6 months, 2 years, our world is a completely different place.
Are you going to be mayor?
We won't need a mayor.
Okay.
What the hell does the mayor know that AI doesn't?
I mean, how to dig up Marta Loop, to be fair. Well, the AI could do
No,
this.
clearly that's not what the mayor.
I'll rest my case. Let's get some bets. We do that for our great pals at Bet365. Get into the action on the Stanley Cup playoffs. Well, you want to? Come on. Let's do it. Bet365. They got you. Game props, player props, totals, money line. You can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champs, Stanley Cup champs, and of course, much, much more. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. An official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs, must be 19 or older. Got a little baseball. Got one for each game tonight. We start with the happiness hedge. It's a lot here. A lot here. Oilers look good. We pick them to win. McDavid a point, obviously. Draisaitl a point, obviously. 2 shots each, obviously. 5 leg. That's a half Jack parlay, we call that. Jack's like 10 leggers only. Plus 220. All those things very likely to happen. Except the Oilers win, apparently. They got Vegas as a favorite here. So I'm either happy because the Oilers lost or I've made some money, right?
Either way.
Happiness hedge. We have some other ones, Jacko, or no?
You forgot to send it, but what is it?
I've got Bo Bichette, who had 6 total bases yesterday, going over 1.5 total bases, plus 110. And Brad Marchand has 3 points in 4 games in this series. He's had a point in both games in Toronto. He's plus 125 for a single point tonight. The Leaf killer in Toronto does not miss. Marchand 1 point plus 125. But that's the big one. That's my 5-legger. I'm getting really close to Jack territory there.
How are the Jays doing?
They gave up 5 runs in the 9th inning to lose yesterday.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, I know. They've just gotten back to 500 too. But hey, today, another chance to get to 500. What a time to be alive.
May Long. Does it matter yet? Like after May Long, is that the cutoff?
There's no one really running away in the division. We're talking about this with the Wolverine. Like the Red Sox are just okay. Yankees are good, but not great. Rays aren't good this year. Orioles are struggling. All these wild cards now. Just get in.
Get in.
Baby. Let's go. Super chats. What do we got, Jacko?
We got a couple.
Super chats benefit the youth centers of Calgary. Safe place, healthy place for kids. Maybe a warm meal, playing with friends, sports, reading, games. Maybe you learn an instrument, whatever it is. It's all at the youth centers of Calgary. Stuart weighing in. Stuart Schultz. Stuart's buddy's turning 30 on the weekend. 90s themed party. Do I go frosted tips and visor or the other way and dress totally grunge? Those are both 90s staples. You're right. If you had some neon, oh no, maybe it's the denim wash, the stone wash jeans.
I'd go grunge. I think I'd go grunge.
He's in right now.
I'd go grunge.
Really let yourself go for the party.
And yeah. Do you see that? They're turning 30 like it's a big day.
Well, when you're 30, that is a big day. It's a depressing day. Do you remember your 30th birthday?
I do.
Probably making like $2 million a year or something.
We were in Chi-Town and we had a draft suit party.
Draft suit party.
So whatever suit you wore to your draft.
No way. Guys had to try to fit into them?
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was awesome.
I mean, yeah, but for some guys that wouldn't have been comfy.
It wasn't. It wasn't good for everyone, but we did it.
Draft suit party. That is amazing. How did you do?
I think I blew the ass out of my draft suit, so I had to go get a different suit, and it was nice too.
There was no chance you were fitting in the original. You'd already blown.
I was fat when I got drafted. Well, no, not when I got drafted. The year before I got drafted, I was real fat. 240, putting on weight to
at 17. Goodness.
Do you ever have nachos?
Love nachos.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
I tried on my grad suit.
How'd that go for you?
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah, I tried on my wedding
You have
suit.
a hot date? You're gonna throw the suit on?
Well, I was just going through my old clothes, and I was like, "Does this fit?"
Jack, don't effing tell me that your age with your capabilities that you're sitting around going through the closet looking at old clothes.
No, he was trying to he's bringing a date to our draft, and everyone gets really dressed up for the playoff draft. No, maybe not. Jack, we need to get you on some dates here.
Do we?
I mean, why wouldn't we?
Or are you part of the man-verse? I heard something about this man-verse or men-verse or something like that, where they're not hanging out with any chicks. We're just going to...
I'm not in the man-verse, no.
No.
Are you creating some sort of deep wilderness, all man only society where you're going to carve things out of wood and ride bears?
No, that's not me. I got a couple buddies, though, that might be into that.
Yeah, for sure you do. Just keep sticking to your trampoline propulsion system, I guess. Lots of chicks there. Brandon Blackheart's back. Old Blackheart. Sorry for the blank message yesterday, guys. My favorite podcast listen every day. Thank you. Congrats, Red, on your son being drafted to the Tigers here in Medicine Hat. He's a Medicine Hattonian.
A Tigerin.
So he's a Med Hatter.
Well,
up 2-1.
Thank you, I guess is the correct response to that. Tigers look good. I've actually enjoyed watching. They've had good coverage of it.
How's the barn down there? Because you were there for game 2.
Oh, she was jam-packed. Yeah. And speaking of nachos, real good. Real good. They're not chincing. You know what? They're not chincing on the cheese.
Good. You can't be chincing the cheese.
They weren't chincing on the cheese. They did the platter. No chincing. Chinced on the sour cream.
Oh, so close. 2-foot putt, guys.
Yeah. Like, how much
salsa or no salsa?
How much is sour cream and salsa? Both of them could have had bigger. Or 2 containers, one on each end of the platter.
God, you're making me hungry.
Yeah, let's go eat.
Game 6 and 7 Sunday, Monday. Lavi, by the way. Lavi BTW. 6 times 5. Yeah, I'm in. I'll do that.
Yeah, I don't care. Pay the man his money.
Yeah, and you see where the cap's going? I don't know.
If he's making 5 a year, even if he's a 7th defenseman in 5 years.
No, but yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, the edges of your roster are always going to be league minimum guys, but he's proven to be a top 4 guy. And if you're so bloody good that he's a 5, you got a great team. Pay him his money. Yeah, I'm done with that. 6 times 5. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Block Derek Knight on that group chat thing.
Oh, dear.
What do we need
Derek
Scott
Knight.
Stevens for? We got Robin Regier, Corey Serich. By the way, congratulations, Corey Serich.
On?
Coaching out at CIHA at Winsport there. U18 prep.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When was boys on that team?
Nope. Not allowed to
Really?
coach kids. God forbid that Corey Serich helps coach his kid.
Yeah, I mean, Rhett Warren absolutely shouldn't be allowed, but Corey should. I think
Oh.
he'd be great at it. Yeah.
Mild mannered, not a
He hasn't been tossed from the rink like you?
chugging, chatting up Sherry.
It's a tall glass of sherry. What? Any others, Jack? Are we good?
No, that's it.
That's it. That's all. Games tonight. Florida, Toronto should be a banger. 5 o'clock start there. Oilers, Knights, 7:30. Please don't suck. Knights, be better.
Come on, Knights. Actually act like you want to be in the playoffs and not
Come
just
on.
get run out of town. My God.
Pushed around? You guys? Cal McCrimmon's going to trade all your asses if you're not better tonight.
That's a good point. He might walk down and tell him that too.
There you go. We forget anything, Jack? We're good to go.
We're good to go.
We haven't found any Oiler fan fights. That's probably a day
That'll be
away.
tomorrow's game.
Tomorrow's game. We'll have some scraps.
Today's game tonight. Don't we have someone coming back tomorrow? Is that official or unofficial?
Time is a human construct, Rhett, but we will have Boomer back on tomorrow's show, unless you're listening tomorrow, which will be today's show, but maybe you're listening way in the future and it's like a week ago's show.
And maybe he just decides not to come back too.
Fair. And not out of the realm of possibility. We'll find out tomorrow. See you, buddies.